people think that they need to use lots of long and complex words to make their writing seem professional. But actually, you don't need to do this. And sometimes doing this can actually be bad. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catalin. Today we are doing another viewer requested video. This person asked about some ways that they can improve their English writing skill. So of course that's exactly what we're going to be looking at today. Learning how to write well in English is super important, especially if you are a student or you're working, because you guys need to write every single day. So today I'm going to give you guys some helpful tips and tricks to make your writing 10 times better. So let's get started. Before you even start writing, there are a couple of things that you can do to make sure that your writing is the best that it can be. And that brings me to my very first tip. Before you even put your pen on the paper or your fingers on the keyboard, think about the tone of your writing. Should your writing be formal or informal? And of course that will depend on the situation that you're in, who you're writing to, and how familiar you are with that person. To help you out with your tone, let's take a look at some of the differences between formal and informal writing. Formal writing is more polished and professional, perfect for a work situation or maybe an email to your teacher. And informal writing sounds more like how we speak in everyday language. It's something that you would use for maybe texting or emailing a friend. When we're writing formally, we normally don't use first-person pronouns like I or we. And we also try to avoid slang, contractions, and other colloquialisms. Of course, if you're writing informally, feel free to do all of those things. The next tip I have for you is also something that you should do before you start writing, and that is planning out your writing. This is a very important step. You would not believe how many people just start writing without even having an idea about what they want to write. And so by the end, they just have this mixed up, confused, jumbled mess. If you want to improve your writing, this is something that you really need to start doing. To plan out your writing, what you need to do is first think really hard about what it is that you want to communicate. What do you want your reader to know by the time they've finished reading your writing? You can think about this by using a brainstorm. Get a piece of paper and write down your main topic in the middle, and then draw a fluffy cloud around that. Then think of lots of examples that support that point. Maybe if I had to write an essay on why learning English is important, my brainstorm might look something like this. You see, in the middle we have our main idea, learning English is important, and then all around that we have other separate smaller points which support that main idea. And that's it, we just made a writing plan. In my essay, those are all of the things that I would write about. You see, making a plan is super easy, and it's one of the best things that you can do to quickly improve your writing. My third tip for you, moving on to things that you should do while you're writing, is don't make your writing too complicated. Oftentimes people think that they need to use lots of long and complex words to make their writing seem professional, but actually you don't need to do this. And sometimes doing this can actually be bad. If you use long and complex words that you don't know how to use correctly and you end up using them in the wrong way, this can actually make you seem unprofessional, the opposite of what you really wanted. So my advice for you guys is stick to the vocabulary that you are confident and comfortable with. Having a grammatically correct piece of writing is far more important than using lots of long words. My final 2 tips for this video are about making sentences in English. When we're writing, sentences are everything, literally. So if you want to make your writing the best, then you need to make sure that your sentences are also the best. To do this, I recommend that you guys get familiar with English sentence structure. Basic English sentence structure looks like subject, verb, and then a noun, object, adverb, or adjective. Most sentences in English follow this structure, so you need to remember it well. And now for my final tip of today's video, it is don't make your sentences too long or too short. Having sentences that are too long or too short disrupt your reader. Imagine if you were in the car with your friend and your friend was driving, and suddenly they sped up and then they slowed down and sped up and slowed down. That wouldn't be a very comfortable ride at all. And that's exactly what it's like having too long and too short sentences in a piece of writing. This disrupts the flow for the reader. It stops them from being able to smoothly read through your piece of writing. If you have lots of short sentences, it might be a good idea to connect some of them with a comma. And if you have a really long sentence, it might be a good idea to put a full stop in there and break it up into smaller ones. A good guide for around about how long a sentence should be is around 15 to 20 words. Of course, this isn't a strict rule, but if they're a lot longer or a lot shorter than this, you should think about changing them up a little bit. Well, that's all that I have for today's video. These tips should definitely help you avoid some of the most common mistakes that people make when they're writing. If you enjoyed it and you found it helpful, maybe you can do something to help me too. Just go down there and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. But that's all from me today. Don't forget to check me out on my Instagram and Facebook, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!